welcome to space. Today
it's cold up here.
It is cold up here. No oxygen. Today we are filming our monthly beauty recap. This is for the month of March. We're going to be talking about just a few things that released in the month of March that are kind of interesting for good or bad reasons.
To be honest, there wasn't much. So this is probably not a very eventful recap, but we're doing it anyway. But if you wanted to see sort of the longer videos and us discussing more information, of course, there's the beauty news episodes, but this is just a nice recap for people that just wanted to see what was released in March and what is vaguely interesting, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. Is it vaguely? I don't even know.
Is it? I don't know.
Probably not.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Okay, we're going to start with some pastel stuff.
Yes.
So we're seeing it. People were saying that pastel things are coming this year, and it's true. And whether you like that or not, unfortunately, it's true.
Also, because the US and also because the Northern Hemisphere is going into spring, so we're just going to see more and more of it.
More and more of it, yeah.
Yeah, but the two sort of palettes or the two releases of note, definitely Huda released 3 pastel palettes. So there's the rose, mint, and lilac, and these actually have a new formula, which we played with on the makeup breakup.
Oh, it's coming when it's coming. So you guys probably know we can't really film together at this time due to social distancing laws. So we're sort of staggering the makeup breakups that we have. We did try to prepare as best we could in case this happened. So there is a sneaky Huda video coming for you. And I got to say, it was a little bit more interesting than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I agree. And I think also the new formula is sort of interesting because it's like a super shock shadow for So when these sort of marbled shades in here, and as well as the shimmers in here, are like a moussey consistency. So they're very different to what we've seen before from Huda. She does seem to put in new formulas in new palettes, and this one, she's gone a bit funny with.
I kind of like that like that she does that, because it almost like it entices me to want to buy them and try it out.
Yeah. I agree. If you're interested in trying new formulas, it is something different. You're not just getting the same old. The second pastel palette that we saw was from Menagerie Cosmetics. This was a Pastel Pup. So this was completely different to Huda. It did have a new formula in it though. One.
It did. The duochrome. So these are pastel shifting toppers. Now there's one in the palette, but they released another
3, I think.
3 or 4 alongside it.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I felt like the pastel shifting toppers were probably the more interesting part of that release. Now, there was some drama around the release of this palette. The imagery on the front of the palette, people called Menagerie out because essentially it was almost like a cartoon version of a photograph that is, I would say, pretty famous on the internet. I'd seen it before. I think a lot of other people had. And Menagerie basically said, no, we hired an artist to create like original content or an original image for the front of the palette, as they always do. And then it was discovered that the artist had actually basically cartoonified a photograph.
Awkward.
Very, very awkward. If you are in the arts industry, don't ever do that. It is so bad.
Yeah.
So bad.
I think the problem here was, though, that they did the right thing, because people were accusing them of taking a photo and putting it through a filter to make it look like it was tweaked, but they actually like, no, we have the concept drawings, we paid for this, you know, we did the right thing, but it was the artist that took too much inspiration from a photo. I hope they got their money back from engaging that artist for their work.
I would hope so. But we do have to mention that this ended with Menagerie really stepping up to the plate. Mm-hmm. They acknowledged that the image had been used unfairly, and they actually paid the original photographer the royalties to use the image. So they did the right thing. Good on them.
Good on them.
That's good.
But so this palette, if you wanted a pretty much all matte except for one shade pastel palette with a black and a white, this is going to be your cup of tea. I still think they should have got rid of the black and white and put more of those interesting toppers in there.
From Colourpop, we did see some releases. We had the Mulan collection that was created for the upcoming live action Mulan remake. This, I don't know if this sold well. I feel like this was around the time, so it launched on the 19th of March on Colourpop's website, and this was around the time when the world changed a lot, and I think makeup was not on many people's radar, to be fair. So I have no idea.
Yeah, I did hear a few people say that they tried to buy it and things were sold out.
Right,
but I think shortly after they released this, they pretty much said that they weren't shipping anymore. So they stopped temporarily shipping to keep their stuff in their warehouse safe. So you can still buy things from their website, but they're just not shipping it for now. So and they've changed their policy that if you wanted to get a refund before it was shipped, you can do that. So you can still technically buy from their site. It's just your order won't be dispatched until things start to clear up, which could be a long time.
A while.
Yeah, but they also released a whole bunch of stuff throughout the month. The only other thing I think of note would be the full beat blending sponge kit, where they released I think it was like a re-promote of one of their sponges with 4 other
I think
sponges.
like the original one. Yeah. So I think the
the green one. I think the green one is the same shape as what they've had in the past, but it's been a different colour.
I think so.
But that was a good deal. Like if you wanted cheap sponges.
It was. Also, maybe a video coming about them.
Maybe. One day. All right, another brand that did release some stuff but has since stopped shipping temporarily is Holo. So they released 5 new nail polishes in their unicorn skin collection. So they released 3 unicorn skin nail polishes for $13 each. So these have sort of like flaky iridescent bits in them. And they also released the Not Milky White and the Indigo Away shade. So they're sort of creme shades and they're $11 each. Or you could buy the whole collection for $60. But again, they have stopped shipping. Also, since we last sort of spoke about their last releases, they did change their shipping terms. They've added on taxes and also customs on like all international orders, which makes shipping very, very expensive. So pretty much if I wanted to buy one nail polish, I would be paying something like, I think it was like $30 or $40 to get it shipped, even though Australia doesn't charge customs. So yeah, just be wary of that. They have, to be fair for everyone, they've sort of incorporated taxes and customs, but they've even done it for countries that don't charge taxes and customs, which I think is a little bit unfair. So hopefully when they come back shipping, they will revise that maybe, because this would stop me from ever buying the nail polishes.
Yeah, it's very expensive. I really want to try them, but I don't like the really, really expensive shipping. I'm not about it.
No, I can't handle it either. But people really like this collection. They think it looks really cool. And
They do.
Nice
And they
colours.
look beautiful.
Yeah, they are pretty.
All right, let's just run through some other things that released. One of note, ABH released their first mascara. Took them a long time to get there, but it is the Lash Brag Volumizing Mascara. Extreme volume!
Yay!
Arms in space!
Yeah, look, I'm glad they released a mascara. I haven't heard anything about it, so I totally forgot that they released it. And I can't stand the name, Lash Brag. But
Lash Brag.
But I am glad that they released a mascara because it's something that's been missing for from their range for a long time. Another thing that they did release was they brought back the Nicole Guerriero Glow Kit. So for a limited time, this was out in 2017, and it was like their best-selling glow kit. We both have it from 2017. And yeah, they launched this as, I don't know, just bringing it back for some reason. So if you missed out on that, or you loved yours from 3 years ago and you've sort of like hit pan on it, you could buy it again. It's available for $40, but limited time only.
We did see some new additions to Drunk Elephant's range, and it wasn't just skincare. They've actually delved into hair care products and body care products, which I thought
deodorant.
Like, that's a bit drastic.
Where did my fingers go? I don't know.
In space. So yeah, there's body cleanser, body lotion, deodorant, and then there's a shampoo, a conditioner, and tangling spray, and a scalp scrub.
Yeah, so if you're a huge, massive, crazy Drunk Elephant fan, which I know there's a lot of people like that out there, you can head to toe in Drunk Elephant.
You can.
Yeah.
All of it.
All of it, everywhere. Okay, we did see a few brown palettes coming out this month, we saw a few nude and brown palettes that have in the last couple of months coming out, which I'm very happy about. But one that a lot of people were sort of talking about was the Melt Cosmetics Rust collection. So their most popular stack, as far as I'm aware, was their Rust stack. And it's been disappeared from, like, been off their website, out of stock for quite some time, and they did announce that they have turned it into a palette and released a collection. It's out, came out in March. Essentially what they did was they turned the 5-pan all matte stack into a 10-pan eyeshadow palette. So they added a couple of more mattes and a bunch of shimmers. So it's essentially just like a really warm brown palette, which a lot of people are digging. They also released a new red-brown gel liner color, which is the shade Burnished, and they re-promoted some lipsticks in there as well. So if you're digging the brown, which is like the grungy, beautiful brown tones, there we go. A few people are wanting to see like the Smoke Sessions Part 2 coming next month, or this month, sorry, April.
Yeah.
I don't know if they will do that but they did really, I suppose their Valentine's collection was like late Feb, so they are sort of releasing a collection a month almost.
Yeah. Yeah, they have been releasing a lot, to be honest, and I think it will be very interesting to see if they do a Smoke Sessions to what's currently going on in the world. So we'll see.
Okay, so some really fast-paced news. Natasha and Denona have released 2 new mini products. People are particularly excited about this mini retro eyeshadow palette because it's got a bit of a retro but cool toned pinky grey vibe. This is out, so I don't know what people think of it yet, but people are very excited. And along with that, they've released it's a mini bloom highlighting blush. So this is designed to be a blush that also sort of highlights your face. It'd be a good way to sort of sample some of her formulas without having to buy the big sort of face palettes. But a lot of people were digging the sort of muted but a little bit unconventional but also sort of retro vibe. I think She's done a good job.
Sugarpill, we did see a new capsule collection eyeshadow and pressed pigment palette. This is in C2. So that's 2 that we've seen in 2 months. Are we going to get another one in April? That remains to be seen.
I wonder if it's going to be green.
Yes, yes. This one was a lot more sort of nude and earthy tone inspired with a pop of blue, green and yellow.
Yeah, as you do.
Yeah.
Too Faced did release a few things this month. They have been releasing quite a few things recently, actually, and they do have some more. Yeah, they've got some more coming out in April as well. So what we saw this month was a new concealer. It's the Peach Perfect Concealer. It's essentially a tub concealer, and it's supposed to be an instant coverage matte formula. So long wear, supposed to hide redness, dark spots, blemishes, etc., etc. And it's available in 18 shades. So they've done that, and they've also added to their Melted Matte lipstick range, which I am super chuffed about because I love this range. Essentially, they've added, I think it was 13 new shades.
Yeah.
And they're $21 each, and they're sort of padding out the range with more nudes, pinks, browns, reds, along with a new Diamond Light Diamond Fire bronzer. So they're calling it a bronzer, but it sort of looks like a really warm toned highlight
for beautiful deeper skin, which they should have.
I agree.
All right, last thing is a release from Viseart. We have the Petite Pro Chou Chou palette. So this is one of their tiny little 8-pan palettes. It's pink with like sort of wearable nudie colors and a pale blue.
No, it's a silver.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's like a true silver. Yeah. In that photo that you're looking at the moment, looks kind of blue, but it is, silver.
Okay, it's silver. All right, well, there we go.
Yeah, so a lot of people are digging this colour story. This is sort of like their summary version. They did say that they're going to release one new one of these, like a limited edition one every season. So we'll be probably seeing a pastel type one for spring coming up. But I think this was the tail end of summer. So no, summer doesn't even make sense.
No, this would have been tail end of
winter.
No, this would have been almost midwinter. I'm confused. So they've said that this is a summertime, the palette's inspired by summertime travels. So unless this is their summer palette, which they're releasing in advance for summer in the US, and then they're going to release their autumn and winter and spring one in advance for next year.
Or maybe this is like their tail end of winter, but they're doing the whole, we want to be inspired by summer because it's cold.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's cold. Some people go to the other side of the world just to experience. I don't know. I'm very confused.
Yeah, to get away from the cold.
Yeah, true. It doesn't seem to, like, releasing something of this colour story doesn't make sense to release it in the off, like, it's inspired by summer holidays, but we're releasing at the end of winter, early
winter,
spring. But they're releasing one each season. I don't know. I've got no arms. I don't know what's going on.
I know. I went into space and this is what happened. So that's it for our March recap, guys. And let us know down in the comments what you purchased, what you loved and what you hated from the March releases. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.